Hello, my name is Alfred Burgess, and this is my introduction to real-time 3D TB2 module presentation. For our module, we were tasked with creating a shot of our character escaping back to a ship after having taken some form of treasure. So for me, that came in the form of an Indiana Jones style scene where the character has to go retrieve an item and then get back out the way she came. However, the bridge or however she got there had crumbled. So that was the kind of premise for my storyboard. And then she eventually gets out to the ship and flies away. The kind of prop that I wanted her to grab was this kind of like lightsaber sword type thing. You can see the reference image on the left and how I interpreted that in my own form on the right. So I changed a bit of the kind of like design of the blade. And the grip I decided to make a bit shorter, so when my character is holding it, it won't affect as much due to the kind of like rotations in the parenting systems. With a longer sword, it's more likely to intersect other items. And for this, I decided to make a glowing blue material. So I decided to use a multiply into the emissive colour of the material and have a translucent surface, and as you can see, that did create quite a nice glowing effect. So to create most of my shots, as you can see on the right, a large portion of it was using assets from the Infinity Blade Hideout collection. This allowed me to kind of spend more time looking at other parts of the animation and lighting and set dressing instead of the modelling processes and the texturing that I would have to have done myself with my own assets. So for the kind of bridge shot, it's one or two of the cliff assets rotated around the entire bridge in order to create a background wall. And for the interior of the tomb, the walls are also made of a similar kind of rock. However, because they're so dimly lit and in the background, it wasn't needed to be placed perfectly, as it kind of gave the illusion of being in a cavern. And for the animation itself, this is the rig that we were using for that character animation. In Unreal Engine, I found that animation to be a bit more difficult to work with compared to some other softwares. There would be a lot of intricacies to the workflow and to the like keybinds and everything that kind of didn't click as well with me. However, I still proceeded through the same process I would with any other animation software, going first through a blocking pass and then going into a blocking plus. However, I did not have the time to move into a fully polished adjustment to the animation using all the like graph editor and keyframes. However, I still believe that my animation holds up to the baseline level of a blocking pass and would be able to be used going forward for a full animation if that was required. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation.